Hey friends, for subscribers, welcome back to Wiley Gun 1776, and those who are new to the channel, glad to have you here. So I've started up this channel to help get the two-way voice out and hopefully give some help and advice to people in the gun community. I've been working on putting out gun and EDC gear reviews along with some comments on current affairs with regard to the two-way community. I try to make logical and fact-based decisions on products given what is known at the time of the recording. And this channel isn't sponsored, and I'm simply giving my opinions based on being in the hunting, firearm, and gun community for the past 35 years. I've lived in both gun-friendly states and not-so-friendly states, so I can hopefully understand the struggles of trying to enjoy the sport, given the political restrictions that don't make law-abiding citizens any safer. So today, I wanted to talk about what I think is necessary to purchase before or soon after the 2021 Presidential Inauguration. I wanted to touch upon ammo and gun shortages also that we've been experiencing through 2020 and it's continuing through 2021. So let's jump into this. First, I want to say we shouldn't buy into the mass hysteria of buy now, since you won't get anything after the inauguration. What we should be doing is looking at federal and state bills that are being presented. Just because you have some loon mentioning total bans, you should really read the bill and then understand the impact. I'm going to do an upcoming video series on such bills submitted to the Florida Senate, such as SB 370, which talks about the assault weapons and magazine restrictions. There's also 3 other bills that are being introduced, SB 294, SB 330, and SB 428, all around the storage and transfer of firearms. What you should be doing is understanding these laws or these regulations that they're putting in play, and write your elected officials. Make your voice known. And what I'm going to do is include links in the description so you can read each one of these bills as well. So that being said, I would look at my supplies and add some basics like ammo for your existing guns. I wouldn't go out and just buy firearms because of the hysteria. If you're wanting to get something new, great. Just don't rush and buy because everybody's saying that's the thing to do. Right now, prices are around 30% higher than they were a year ago for the same things. So obviously, it's a supply and demand scenario coupled with all the new buyers. And it's great that new people are getting into this, but hopefully these new owners will also help preserve the rights that we've been fighting for years. It's great to have them on as new people, but let's get everybody active. So what I first wanted to do was address firearms, ammo, and then finally magazines. So with firearms, I would consider if you are thinking about, start doing your research on AR pistols if that's your thing, as well as traditional ARs and AKs. My thought is these are going to be the first thing that the anti-gunners are coming for. O'Rourke, Biden's man, he clearly has issues with ARs and AKs. Right now, all the prices are high and the stock is limited. If you can find something, the price is, again, it's probably 30% higher than it was a year ago. So you also might want to think about looking at companies like Palmetto State Armory and build your own AR. But, you've got to be mindful of current state and federal laws. And with that being said, be careful when you're looking at polymer 80 type of builds. Well, these are good to do. They give you some build experience. They aren't serialized. And with the rate on polymer 80, keep in mind, they can only be purchased and assembled and used by you, which means if you go to try to sell them on some gun broker type of a site, you need to get it serialized before transferring. I've gone on some local trader sites and I've seen the P80 Glock 19s and 17s, but be careful because they're not serialized. You can't sell those, or you can't trade those. The last thing you want to do is to fall on ATF's radar. So just be mindful of that. I don't think people realize that since they aren't serialized, they can't sell them. So be mindful of that. So with firearms, don't rush to buy anything. If there's something on your radar that you want, great. Look into it. Buy educated. So for ammo, locally there's still a few places that have ammo. I come across and I've used Shark Coast Tactical recently, and I've also left links below. They have 9mm ammo for around 70 cents a round. Now, compared to a year ago, that's high. Times now, you're lucky to find it. Another company that I've also found is Ventura Munitions out of Las Vegas. They have good price on Hornady Critical Duty. I think over the weekend I was seeing 25 rounds for like $24. So it's an area that I would stock up on and have some in reserve. It's always good to have someone to train with and not be forced to buy the ammo from the range at their inflated prices. Some ranges I've seen great prices on ammo for use at the range, but for the most part, it's going to be overpriced. So shop around on the internet. Shark Coast Tactical, Ventura Munitions are good sites there. Also, the Lucky Gunner is also another good one. So I've also been looking at some dry fire solutions. And if you have any of those that you use, please let me know down in the comments. It might be an alternative to think about other than using your stockpile of ammo and being able to keep sharp and doing the presentations and have something there. So that's another thing that I've been looking for. From what I've been seeing, there's some mixed reviews on it. With the Glock, you want to get that trigger reset, and some of the dry fire, you would have to rack the slide each time you're using that. And to my thinking is that might be introducing some poor muscle memory into it. So, I'm not 100% sold on it, but like I said, if you guys have any suggestions on it, or if you have any experience, please leave them down in the comments. Also, magazines. That's another area where people have been saying, get more magazines and get more, get as many as you can. So it's one of the areas that I haven't seen too much of an increase in price yet. So I would make sure you have some extra magazines. I wouldn't go crazy on it. But, you want to have enough for your ammo. You want to have, a supply. They are, I'll say, a consumable item. They do go bad after a while. You break them, you drop them, you lose them, you forget them at the range, you drop them on the ground, they crack. So, before the prices go too high, it's great to have a couple in reserve. I wouldn't go to the thought process that let me stockpile these, and especially Glock mags and AR mags. I wouldn't stockpile them thinking it's a great investment, because years ago we saw them going for ridiculous prices, and then 6 months later the prices dropped. So you don't really know what the prices are going to be in 6 months from now. But what I would say is if you can add a few more to your stockpile, especially looking at the 30-round AR magazines and also the 33-round Glock magazines. It's probably, you get a couple extra of those. That's not a bad investment. So with all that said, take time now to do an inventory of your items and really supplement where necessary. Don't panic buy. I've included some helpful links in the comment section for firearms, ammo, and magazines, but don't put all your resources into guns right now, since they're really at an overinflated price. You've already missed the boat on it if you haven't gotten anything, gotten the firearm that you were thinking about. And if nothing happens in the weeks and months ahead, my thought is people might start selling off some of the guns they bought, and the prices are going to drop. So some of those first-time buyers, in 6 months they might not, if nothing happens, they might get rid of it, and that comes into play for you. What I would do is you might be better off putting some money away into savings, and then if the prices do drop, you can get some good deals. Also, take a look at some less popular models and calibers. When I was going through the gun trader sites, just this morning I saw a Glock 31 for $325. Now, the 31 is a less popular caliber, but for $325, for you really can't go wrong. So be educated, so you know what the market price is and what you're willing to pay for it, and don't fall into the panic buying and overpay on things. And before you buy, check around. For guns, I like to use Grab a Gun. I've bought quite a few guns from them over the years. They're really fair, their prices are reasonable, and they've got a decent stock. I have nothing but good things to say about them. So do your homework, check around, and know what price you should be paying. Just don't, pay some overinflated price because somebody has it in stock. There are places that you can still get stuff in stock. Like I said, Grab a Gun, really fair pricing on those. All you have to do is pay the FFL transfer, and that's usually like $25. So, be educated about it. So, thanks for taking time to watch the video, and please like, subscribe, and comment. I hate to keep on the subscriber kick, but I'm trying to get at least to 1,000 subscribers in the coming months. So I'm going to keep putting out multi-videos each week on my thoughts while we're getting through these crazy times. And the only thing that I have to say is relax, be prepared, be educated, and carry every day.